to, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, episode 3 of my original series, Mangasplain. This episode, we're getting in through 5 through chapter 8. So chapter 5 starts out with Natsu, Lucy, and Happy going on that job from the first that, Lucy was horrified by in the last chapter. When they get into the town that they needed to go to, they split up because Natsu was hungry, although he finds it weird that Lucy didn't want to eat with him, but she wasn't hungry, so, she went off and did her own thing. And then when she came back, when the boys were eating, Natsu's reaction just confirms the fact that he's trolling her. Later, Lucy and Natsu show up at the job requester's house to talk about the job that they're taking on. Their client is Kirby Mellon, and he just wants a book called Daybreak Destroyed that some billionaire named Everlew happens to own. He also explains that the reward has gone up from 200,000 jewel to 2 million jewel, and Natsu naturally loses his shit. Natsu immediately takes Lucy's hand and is raring to go on the job. And can I just say that this particular image can be taken so wrong out of context. Later at Everlew's mansion, Lucy, knocks on the door in her maid outfit to apply for the position that Everlew is looking for, the cute blonde maid. However, she is very quickly denied, rejected. Everlew's taste in women is, we'll just say it's interesting. Naturally, Lucy's pissed and says this man has no taste in women. So they go with Natsu's plan, which is Operation T, take them by storm. Little do they know, though, Everlew already knows that they're fairy tale wizards. He already knows that they're wizards in general. Happy flies Natsu and Lucy to the roof where they could break in. And as they decide how they're going to get in and how they're going to steal the book, there's this moment that is not nearly as funny in the manga as it is in the anime dub. I like Lucy's idea of revenge in the anime dub much better. Lucy warns Natsu to not do any violence, and then he made the face and then I like his response. Your words don't match your actions. So they break into the house, and this is another moment that is actually funnier in the anime dub than it is here in the manga. Because here in the manga, it just shows them, crawling through the window into the house. But in the anime dub, we got this. You can't get enough of that scene. Now, I know I talk about Natsu trolling Lucy a lot, but the biggest troll in Fairy Tail is Happy, hands down. Like, it's the reason why everybody who loves Fairy Tail loves him. So they scour the mansion trying to find, the book that they're looking for. And at one point, they do come across the big chick from before and the other ugly chicks. And you know what? I can call them ugly without any guilt because they're animated. It's okay to call them ugly. Anyways, Natsu knocks them out with, one blow. And then they escape and find the library. They actually find the book Daybreak pretty quickly, and Lucy starts to read it and realizes that there's something really important with this book. Then Everlew shows up and realizes, oh, so this is what you're after. And Lucy wants to keep the book, but even though he's calling it a worthless book, he does not want to give it up. Natsu reminds her that if we just burn it, the job will be over. But Lucy, and side note, she's an incredibly big book lover and a writer, absolutely does not want this book destroyed. She just wants to keep reading it, like right now. This is when Everlew introduces us to the Vanish Brothers, who are from a mercenary guild that Everlew hired. Now, keep in mind that these guys are extremely confident in their abilities, like 100%. Don't forget that. So since Lucy discovered that there's some kind of secret within the book, she tells Natsu to buy her some time while she goes and reads more of it. Hearing this, Everlew assumes that there's some kind of secret, like a treasure map or something, so he decides to go after Lucy while he tells the Vanish Brothers to take care of Natsu. Natsu informs Happy that he's enough and to go and, go after Lucy, and he'll take on the Vanish Brothers. And the fight is so funny. And we get to see this fight in chapter 7. Now we get to the fight between the Vanish Brothers and Natsu. They're boasting about the fact that the difference between them and wizards is the fact that wizards' biggest weakness is their bodies, because they don't train their bodies, so they believe. Because they're so dependent on their magic, unlike these mercenaries who are very dependent on their physical abilities. These guys obviously don't know anything about magic. Or wizards, for that matter. It's explained in the first chapter, but in the fairy tale world, magic is a big prevalent of everybody's life, but not everybody uses it, like wizards do. Not everyone claims to be a wizard. It's just a magic of everyday life. So really a big chunk of the population in Fiore basically does not use magic, every day like a wizard would. Wizards actually perfect the craft, and not to mention obviously they use it in battles. And during all this, Natsu is just dodging every single attack that they throw at him, and he boasts about it too, saying, your hits haven't hit me. They presented this conversation a bit more comically in the anime, and I honestly prefer it over the manga version. I also love how they do an attack that supposedly no one has survived, but Natsu does, and he's like, no one survived, huh? So then he throws, a dragon roar at them, and one of the Vanish brothers catches that magic with his tool, his giant pan, and then throws it right back at him. Well, by now you should know that's not gonna fucking work. And the fight's over. Meanwhile, Lucy is reading this book. For one thing, she's a huge fan of Kemu Zalion, who is the one who wrote the book. And she discovered the secret that was within the book by using these reader glasses that she got that are a magic tool. Then Everlou shows up and, still thinks that there's a treasure map or something in the book, and is trying to get the book from her. Anyways, Happy shows up and gets Everlou off of Lucy while she's calling him an enemy to literature, which he literally is. It's revealed that he had kept Kemu Zalion locked up and forced him to write that book for him. And then that's when they discover that Everlou is also a wizard. Lucy summons her spirit, Cancer, where Happy gets really excited because he's a crab. And then Everlou pulls out a gate key and he summons Virgo, which is that same beastly woman from before. Not only does Everlou use like a ground magic, he also, has the gate key so he can summon a celestial spirit just like Lucy. And the thing is about holder type magic is basically the way the fairy tale world is built. Anybody can be a celestial wizard. It's basically a choice you make on that's the type of magic you want to use. So the magic power that you have within you're able to use to open the gate keys. Not anybody can use those keys though, because you can only use a celestial spirit key if you have a contract with that celestial spirit. To their shock though, Natsu had shown up attached to Virgo when Virgo had been summoned. Of course, everyone's confused because for that to have happened, he would have had to have grabbed her before she was summoned, and then he would have gone through the celestial spirit world with Virgo and then come back to the real world. It's not explained here, but no human can survive in the celestial spirit world without special celestial clothes. And Lucy is just relieved that she was able to save the book. But we'll get into that into the next video. The end. Like and subscribe. Whee! So Natsu takes Virgo out with one blow, and then Lucy takes out Everlou using Cancer.